You gave up a TV job to start a podcast in your basement. If that doesn't scream midlife crisis, I don't know what does.
It was Championship Sunday here in Indianapolis. What's the mindset then coming in as a defending champion?
I want to win. No, I want to win.
The young lady over my shoulder, Caitlin Clark.
Not the best looking guy. And I don't think anyone's going to sit here and say, Matt Randazzo was really good looking.
What has this last month, 2 months, 3 months been like for you? It's an important fan base for the Fighting Illini, isn't it?
It is.
He turned 69 years young last week. He looked good, Coach.
Oh, try it. Thank you.
Welcome to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Monday in the Quad Cities. Monday, June 8th. Thank you guys so much for joining us. However you are taking part of the show, part of the podcast, part of the experience, if you will. We definitely appreciate it. Coming off a 3-day weekend, we took Monday off, spent some time in Iowa City, spent some time getting ready for the Guy Randazzo Memorial Golf Outing. We'll talk about that in a little bit as well. But back at it, a busy week once again this week, and a busy show for you right here on OTA on a Monday in the Quad Cities. I have had a fly bugging me the entire morning, and I will win this battle with this fly somehow, some way up here in the loft at the Randazzo household. But we want to thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for that. We appreciate that. Make sure you're subscribing. If you have subscribed, thank you. We're getting close to 1,700 followers or subscribers or whatever you want to call it. And if you have subscribed, tell a friend or two or 10 about what we're doing each and every day right here in the Quad Cities Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. We're also live on X. X has been very, very good to us as well. So make sure you jump on X as well. We're on Instagram now. And I've been on Instagram, but I'm not very active on Instagram. So I started a brand new Instagram last night. So go ahead and check that out. Matt Randazzo OTA. We'll post a bunch of stuff on Instagram as well. We're also streaming on the WHO Plus app as we speak, live the first hour in Des Moines, Central Iowa. We love the viewers up there. We've gotten great response, great feedback from you guys as well. So thank you guys for watching if you're doing so on that streaming device as well. And then also welcome to everybody listening podcast-wise. Of course, you can check out the show each and every day on any podcasting platform there is. Spotify, Apple, Podbean, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts. Put it Off There with Matt Randazzo, and you can listen to the show each and every day as well. We have a busy week to get to. We're less than 2 weeks away from my dad's Memorial Golf Outing. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. But we got a great show lined up for this week, or for today, and then the week is a busy one as well. Coming up today in just a matter of moments, if you're a Quad City sports fan and you know who Jay Kidwell is. Jay's been in the Quad Cities for a long time, covering sports at Channel 4 WHBF for 25 years now. They celebrated that last Thursday, I believe it was, June 4th was his 25-year anniversary. He is an amazing human being, great at his job, awesome at what he does, loves Quad City sports, and he's a good friend of mine. So coming up here in a matter of moments, we'll have Jay join us and go down memory lane. So if you're a Quad City sports fan, you're going to enjoy it because we're going to go through 25 years. Our careers here in the Quad Cities kind of mirror each other. He was getting started here, came to the Quad Cities when I was getting out of the school at St. Ambrose and starting at WQAD. Of course, he was Jay Kidwell, sports director at WHBF, and I was a peon at WQAD. But we spent a lot of time together. So we'll go through memory lane of basically the last 25 years of sports, high school-wise, pro-wise here in the Quad Cities. Not everything, obviously, but favorite moments, favorite players, memories, all those kind of things. So Jay Kidwell coming up in just a matter of moments. The pitch in Iowa will be extremely busy this week. Last week, it was the boys taking center stage for the state soccer tournament. It's the ladies taking center stage this week. Today, we have two teams playing here from the Quad Cities, Assumption and North Scott. We'll talk about them in a second. Bettendorf will hit the pitch tomorrow at 3:15 in quarterfinal play. We'll have a trio of standouts from the Bettendorf girls soccer team joining us a little bit later on in hour number one of the show. Should be a lot of fun. Really good program. They do a fantastic job there. Won state 2 years ago, made it to state last year, lost in the quarterfinals. So third straight trip to state. and they've experienced the highs of the highs, and they state championship 2 years ago, and they experienced losing in the quarterfinals last year. So we'll talk to them about all of that, winning the MAC and much more. Bettendorf girls soccer coming up a little bit later on in hour number 1 of the show. In hour number 2, we're going to turn our attention to what everyone was talking about late last week. The Bears look to be heading to Hammond, Indiana. As a non-Bears fan, I think is a nice way to put it for me. As a non-Bears fan, I just chuckle. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like when you get down to the black and white of it, like you go to New York and the Jets and Giants both play in New Jersey, and you go to San Francisco and they're in Santa Clara. They're not in San Francisco. So heck, I'm a Lions fan, and for years they were in Pontiac, which is 45 minutes north of Detroit. So I think there's a lot of semantics when it comes to those kind of things. But it's the Chicago Bears, and they're not even going to be in the state. It's different, and I know it bugs Bears fans. So, of course, me being a non-Bears fan, I'll continue to hopefully bug them a little bit as well with it. But anyways, coming up in hour number 2, Lorin Cox from Locked On Bears will join us to talk about what's going on with the Bears move, where the stadium will be, if Indiana's still the place it's going to be. Also, Caleb Williams on the cover of Madden, and OTAs are underway. So, are almost done, I think. So, we'll talk with Lorin Cox, one of the best in the business from Locked On Bears, coming up in hour number 2 of the show as well. So a lot to get to today. We talked about state soccer. It's Bettendorf tomorrow. North Scott will hit the pitch against Gilbert at 3:15 today. And then also Assumption, the 2 seed in 1A. They'll take on Ablington Parkersburg at 12:30 today. So we'll keep you up to date on state soccer. Of course, people listening in Central Iowa, a lot of Central Iowa flavor, especially when it comes to 3A, and so well represented from that area, from the Des Moines area. So we'll talk a lot of state soccer throughout the week right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Also, a few news and notes to get to before we get to Mr. J. Kidwell here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Golf-wise, it was a great memorial. The memorial was really, really good. Of course, Saturday, rainy, awful, so they played a lot of golf yesterday. And with 2 holes left, they had a 5-way tie atop the leaderboard. One of those players, one of those golfers atop the leaderboard at that point was JT Poston. And JT Poston went into a playoff with Ryan Gerard, 2-hole playoff. JT had a chance to win it, and the first playoff didn't do it. It looked like they were destined for a 3rd playoff hole, but Gerard missed a short putt for par, allowing JT Poston to win the memorial. Of course, he is the 2022 John Deere Classic champion. It's his 4th victory on tour. And the cool thing about JT Poston is you just got to look at some of the bobbleheads on my desk. We got a 2022 JT Poston John Deere Classic victory bobblehead right here. So I guess we should put that a little more front and center. We'll actually take Amon-Ra, St. Brown. That's a great one of Amon-Ra. It's the upside down one against the Packers. Yeah, Packers fans, you remember it. And we're going to put JT up on the big one, since he's won the memorial, and of course headed to the John Deere Classic coming up in less than 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it might be. So a great weekend of golf, great Sunday of golf especially, and the John Deere Classic is right around the corner. Friendly reminder, we will be live at the John Deere Classic Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of JDC week. We'll be live from the Stonehouse, Andrew Lehman's office. If you watched last week, we talked about the kind of dispelled the rumors of the John Deere Classic in Chicago, but Andrew Lehman was on, and we talked about a lot of things when it came to golf, but he showed the office is ready for us on Off the Air. So we'll be out there during John Deere Classic week as well. Really excited about that. That's for sure. One more news and notes to get to, a couple more. One, a sad thing to talk about and report came out yesterday. Stacey King, former 3-time champion with the Chicago Bulls, color commentator for the Bulls, really one of everyone's favorite people when it came to the Chicago Bulls organization, passed away yesterday at the age of 59. So heartbreaking news. Of course, I remember Stacey King playing with the Bulls those first 3 championships. And I think I'm right on this. Stacey King was the 6th pick in the draft. The Bulls had 2 first-round picks that year, and B.J. Armstrong, who was my guy, was picked in the first round later. I want to say like 18th or something like that. But he played for the Bulls, watched big Bulls fan growing up, especially with BJ Armstrong on the team. Everyone loved Michael Jordan. So watched a lot of Stacey King back then, and then did a really good job as the color commentator for Bulls basketball. So our heart breaks for him and his family. He will be in our thoughts and prayers. Stacey King, gone way too young. At the age of 59 years old. Some breaking news kind of going on in the world of college football before we get to Jay Kidwell is this. It looks like Brendan Sorsby, who gambled on football his entire career in college, $90,000 worth of gambling, including on his own team, has been reinstated basically. They found a judge in district court in Lubbock County, shocking, has grounded an injunction requested by Brendan Sorsby. So he's going to be eligible this season. He'll have to sit the first two games, which was their suggestion. The Sorsby and his legal team, that was the suggestion by them, was a 2-game suspension. So he'll sit the first 2 games, and then he'll be eligible to play the entire season. Remember, Noah Shannon lost his senior season of college because he bet a little bit on Iowa women's basketball, I believe, or whatever it was, but very little, not on his own team. And here's a quarterback for a really good football program that gets a lot of NIL money, that is going to be eligible to play next season. Crazy to think about. We'll talk more about it later in the show. I'm going to try to see if I can get Scott Docterman on the show sometime this week. So Doc, if you're watching, which who knows if you are, I'm going to be bugging you soon, but I'd love to get his thoughts on one of the best when it comes to college football, on Brendan Sorsby and him being eligible after a 2-game suspension for Texas Tech. Guys, it's crazy. I think I saw yesterday 14 more Sundays until the NFL is back. So that's 13 more Saturdays until college football is back. I mean, before we know it, it'll be the middle of June and end of June. And August is when everything gets crazy when it comes to media days, and the end of August, football gets rolling. So it's right around the corner. So we'll talk a lot more college football later this week right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. So a lot of things going on a Monday, but I want to go back to last week because it was a really cool thing to see. You don't survive in local media for 25 years very often, more or less at the same station in the same role. And that's exactly what this young man has done. So joining me now, a familiar face, not just here on the show, but of course in the Quad Cities, Mr. Jay Kidwell, Mr. 25 years. It can't be. Has it been that long, young man?
25 years. It is unbelievable. I guess I knew it was coming up, but I'll tell you what, the last few days, it has just been an absolute whirlwind. My heart is beyond overflowing. I'm so grateful with the incredible messages and connections that I've had, and you included. You sent me a very gracious text and message, and then have me on your wonderful show. Means the world to me, all of this. I'm really blown away, just blown away by it all. But yeah, 25 years. When I rolled into the Quad Cities in June of 2001, coming up from Connecticut, I had a 5-year contract. Who knows? I mean, the TV business, who the heck knows what's going to happen, but we're still rolling.
Yeah, the reason there's such an outpour of support, Jay, is because you've affected a lot of people, not just being on TV, but the personal side of it, which is the best part about you. Can you go back? So it was June 4th, 2001. And it was funny because when I got out of the business, I said, I would say nearly 25 years, but that's right when I graduated St. Ambrose. So I interned in 2001 and probably 2000, but I got out in May of 2001 and started at WQAD. So I was starting same time you were starting. You were a big time sports director. I was just a little peon at WQAD. But do you remember June 4th, 2001? You remember your first day?
I can sort of take us back to that early sequence. The actual first day, I think I was actually in the building a couple days ahead of time. Ryan Lieber was the weekend guy that was working with me at the time. He had been holding down the fort. He was solo, so he was glad to see me show up. But the first day, just probably trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing, where we're going, what's happening. Although I think my first ever story with him, I think I rode around with him before I technically started because I had gotten out to the area a few days early, was to state soccer. And of course, at that point, it was in Muscatine. So I'm thinking, that's not too bad. So actually, the first time I actually went into the state of Iowa was on the 280 bridge heading down to Muscatine for state soccer.
Love it.
So when I drove out from Connecticut, went to Rock Island, and at the time it was the Sheraton, which now is the Holiday Inn downtown Rock Island, in the district. And station was great. They put me up in a wonderful spot for a week, and then after that, I kind of digressed to a little bit more reasonable things since I was footing the bill and wasn't living the high life at the Sheraton. But it was great. It was just a fun time. But the first day, and then Andrea Zinga, Ron Elke, who you'll see down at Rockridge all the time, he's like doing the pork, cooking the pork chops and stuff. And Laura St. John was weather. So those were the three other anchors that were with me on that first night, June 4 of 2001.
Love it. Jay, I
don't know if I answered the question.
No,
in
you
true
did.
TV
Yeah,
style.
absolutely. No, you did. You look at it, Jay, and you don't know, you know what's coming, but you don't know, the date, but like you said, there wasn't a clock, and you're like, oh wow, but it's something you're proud of, obviously. I loved what they did on the news that night, because you can go back and look at goofy little "This Is Jay's" like in 2001 and 2010. Through the years, they didn't do that. And when I left WQAD, my favorite parts were the messages I got from people. And Cuff did a great job of gathering them, and Andy McCrae and Redrick Terry did a great job at your station, kind of gathering some former employees, which I think was great. It was a trip down memory lane for me, Jay, because those are guys I spent a lot of time with too. What did that mean to hear from the people that you worked a lot? And you know what it's like. It's like a team. You get that person or two, and it's like you see them more than you see your family and your wife sometimes. So what was it like to hear from and see those guys on the other night?
You said it perfectly. It's a team. We go out and cover teams all the time. That's what we've done for years and years and years, and are still doing. But that's our team. That's our station team. And those guys meant the world to me. Some just wonderful people. And some guys, J.B. Long, Mike Liskaski, we're going back to like 2005, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that neck of the woods. Steve Long, our former news anchor. Dan Vasco, Adam Rosso, absolutely fabulous. Just some people that meant so much to me. As you know, like we all lean on each other. So you really do build a bond. And something I also discovered when I moved out here from Connecticut is I remember, my wife, Kim, was just all in on the move. I wish I had the letter. I think it's still in my desk. I know it's in my desk. I wish I had it with me. I'd read it. I don't know. I'm sure she wouldn't care, but I don't have it. But I always think of, it's a little, you're uprooting everybody. We're moving 1,000 miles out here. Not really sure what's happening, but I had a wife and kids with me. So when these weekend sports guys roll into town, I think the world of these guys, because they're coming out here. They're all by themselves. They don't know anything from anything, but they're taking a chance. They're going for their dream, and just total respect, and anything I can do to make their world smoother, easier, the transition. That's what I want to do. But just knowing that, so they're obviously, I look at them as family, just sort of what you're talking about, being on a team. So then to see those faces pop up, I didn't know that whole thing was coming. Once they started the video, I didn't know where the video was going, what was going on. As you mentioned, Andy McCrae reached out, just so good of him, so great of him to do that. And Redrick Terry edited the whole thing. And just that face after face popped up, and I'm tearing up in the studio, and I'm thinking, I've probably got to get my grip together here because this is going to end at some point. But it just meant the world. And then their messages were, I've just been blown away. I've really been overwhelmed by the kindness and great words and just the wonderful relationships. And I'm also just so happy to see how how they've all moved on and they're doing, maybe some of them are out of TV. Some are still in TV. Some are the voice of the LA Rams. I mean, you got all kinds of things going on. But I'm just so happy to see that they're all doing well. Mike's going to get married in a few months in New York City. And as I've just mentioned, JB's the voice of the Rams, which is just fantastic. I'll always remember him being a hard worker, but I'll remember I'd be leaving the station, whatever. This is like at 10:50 when we could leave. Like, this is before the website and like making clips and going to Twitter and Facebook and X or whatever. I would be leaving the building, and JB would be in the edit room. He'd be in edit bay one. This is when we had beta tapes, and he'd take the Hawkeye basketball game and he'd have it playing, and he would be in there and he would be broadcasting. He would be doing play-by-play of the Hawkeye basketball game on the beta tape. And I'm like, that young man is determined. He's got things happening. And just stories like that and memories of every single one of these colleagues over the years. I've got, as you do as well, what they mean to you is something special. So they all have a piece of my heart, and I could not be more grateful for them. Over the last day and change, I've been reaching. I think I'm the only dinosaur that makes phone calls, because I've been calling everybody just to let them know how much I appreciated it. I think I've gotten voicemail on every one of them, which is fine. People are busy. I get it. I've gotten callbacks on some of them, and this, that, and the other. It's fine. I understand people are doing things, but I just want them, if nothing else, to know that it was very heartfelt and it meant the world to me.
I love it. Jay Kidwell, celebrating 25 years here in the Quad Cities, joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I want to go down memory lane, and we'll both do it because we're right on the same timeline of what we were experiencing together. So we'll hope each other through the forgetfulness, because I got it, you got it. But before we do
what
that,
did you say?
Yeah, exactly right.
Here's my there's my 25-year joke. Right?
I guess before we get into that, why'd you stay? I mean, you're a guy come in for 5 years. You got a family. I know why I like it here. I know why we like you here. But why did you stay?
I've always said, not the top of the TV ladder, TV industry, what have you. But quality of life here, I think, is just A+ in the Quad Cities, in this region. 2 young kids growing up. Kids growing up here, love it, love what I get to do, going around. I mean, and I've seen enough people. Well, this area is just tremendous. Love this area, love everything I get to do about it. Are there hiccups here and there? Sure, absolutely. But the good certainly outweighs the bad, the hiccups that do arise. But, the other side of it is the grass isn't always greener. I've seen enough people, some people that I worked with in Massachusetts at my first station in Springfield, Massachusetts. One guy went out to Boston, to the CBS in Boston. Great opportunity. But then after like 3 years, they're like, we're sick of looking at your face, and they got rid of him. And I mean, that could happen to any of us here, any market, whatever. But I had really no major desire to maneuver. Again, it was a great work balance between work and family and kids. This was the place to be.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you did stay for the 25 years plus, and we're still rocking and rolling. Okay. So we kind of talked about it a little bit before we got rolling, but let's look at some memories. 25 years, there's a lot of them, so it's hard to do. I'm not going to tell you, give me that one moment. If you got one, that's great, but give me some of the best moments when it comes to covering sports that you were at and that you experienced close up.
Boy, there are so many great moments, and I guess my mind instantly would go to like a championship moment, the ultimate victory. And, one of those special days was 2011, Chasing Randall and the Rock Island basketball team. Yeah. Chasing fouls out in the overtime period. Rocks eventually prevail, get the job done. They are state champions. Coach Sigel and the crew, to see how special, what an incredible moment that was for the entire Rock Island community. Obviously, I'm not on the team, but you can just sort of soak up the joy from everybody. And it's a privilege to be a part of it or be there to cover it and to be able to talk to these players and coaches at one of their greatest moments. It's just fantastic. Bettendorf football, a couple of championships they had back in 04 and 07 at the Unidome. Coach Scott and the crew. I think that second one was some incredible late touchdown to win the game. And again, just to see people at their absolute highest of highs, the ultimate satisfaction, job well done. You accomplished it. You set out to have a championship season, and they did it. But yeah, obviously, going back to basketball, Moline, the Maroons, just a few years ago down in Champaign, that Saturday night, I mean, the Harding Freeman show was just an incredible must-see event all season long. And sometimes when maybe people think you are going to win, that might be the toughest challenge of all, is to actually finish the deal. But they finished the deal. There was no doubt about it. And, I can still see Brock running over to the far side and cheering with the fans and everything else. Just great moments. And to be able to, again, watch it and just sort of soak up the energy from champions. Yeah. Just great times.
Jay, you mentioned you're not part of the team. We scored no points in either of those state championship runs. We didn't score any touchdowns with Bettendorf, but you start feeling part of that community. For me, like, I'm an Owlman kid. And Rock Island's playing for a state championship, and I have never been more nervous in a basketball game, especially when Chasen fouled out. And I'll go back to, like, I remember shooting that game, and Chasen hit a three in, like, the third quarter. And, we call it the hero shot. You go back to the player who made it, and Chasen kind of didn't run down the court. He, like, stayed because they were pressed. And he had this look. This is Chasen Randall, nicest young man we've ever met, probably. And he had this look on his face as like, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is intense. So I got to ask you this. This isn't fair, and you don't have to answer it. I was asked this as well. I've had Brock on, Chasen on, both coaches, I think both Sigel and Coach Taylor. And I've asked, in their primes, 2011 Rock Island plays 2024, 23, whatever it was, Moline in a game. Who wins? Which state champion wins in a game? I had it asked to me, and I'll be honest, I probably pled the fifth.
So that's probably the smart way of doing it, is to say,
you can be gutsy. You're more.
I would probably lean on Moline, but you know what? When you've got the heart of a Chasen Randall who's going to give you the death dagger, I mean, don't tell Chasen he's not going to win this game. And it may just be recency bias on the Moline side, but they were obviously an incredible powerhouse. That was a wild season. But I'll tell you what, that would be something fun to do some size, AI matchup or something.
The size for Moline is what. Now, I said that to Coach Sigel, and he's like, I think Denzel McCauley was pretty good, which he was. Yeah. So that would be interesting. We talked about Chasen with the death stare. That was Brock every single play. So it's just that Chasen was such a nice guy. Not that Brock isn't, but Brock knows Brock is Brock. So I think we're okay with that as well. One
thing on that Rocky game. This is a TV moment that you can appreciate. I think I took 3 batteries down to the game, and we're in overtime, and my second one had died. So now I'm on my last one, which I think one of them was like a wild card. I just remember thinking, this battery, there is potential. This thing could expire during this whole situation. And, we're in Peoria. So,
I would have given you a battery. I would have given you a battery.
I was just freaking out. I'm on my 3rd battery, and we're in overtime. Like, do not disappear on me now.
Oh, and I know those mystery batteries that they look good, and all of a sudden they're dead. Yes. Wait a minute. You gave me the good reading. Is there we mentioned some players right there. But I want 2 I want different best players maybe. And then also, let's just forget that we did that with Brock and Chasen and is there a player that was really good, really fun to cover that probably isn't going to be on the top of like best Quad City athletes in the last 25 years to cover? My example would be Dylan Sortillo, winningest guy in Augustana basketball history, won a ton at Bettendorf, just a great human being, always fun to be around, really, really good athlete, but he was not chasing or he D1 or anything like that, but he was just, is there a guy like that for you? Maybe your favorite athlete?
So many great ones, but one that comes to mind, Danny Tharp, quarterback for the Bulldogs, state championship. I remember just a great spirit, and seeing him after they won the title, and talking with him that night, but just throughout the season, just always sort of engaged and very, just very respectful and kind, and the champ. But there's one that, and it's not even whether he'd won the title or not, but just a good young man.
That's the best part of these, Jay, is we get to know them off the playing surface, and they're all great kids. Like we say kids, they're all old now like we are, but they're all great kids at the time. I want to go to the John Deere Classic with you because we've spent a ton of time out there. There's so many great memories from the John Deere Classic, from three-peats to Zach winning to Bryson to Jordan Spieth and give me some of those John Deere Classic. Heck, yesterday we see JT Poston win the Memorial, and you're like, you're rooting for him because that's one of our guys. John Deere Classic is got to be so important to you when it comes to your 25-year career in the Quad Cities.
Boy, it is just the most unique week out of the 52 that we have in our sports calendar in the QC. Such a unique week, such a great week, such a fun week. David Gossett won the tournament in 2001. That was my first JDC. And I don't believe he ever won again afterwards. But he won that. But obviously the Jordan Spieth run was incredible. This Steve Stricker run was insane. How about the Michelle Wee Odyssey with that crowd on that? I think that was crowds lining. I remember when she was teeing off at 10 on that Friday, from tee box to the green on the par 5 10th, it was just a sea of people out there. Just incredible stuff. Obviously the playoffs that we've had, it's just such a great thing. And one of the things that I really enjoy is just hearing these press conferences after, again, these guys, I think I made maybe an idiot of myself at the recent press conference at the JDC saying, I've never won a golf tournament. I've never won anything in athletic competition. So what is that like when you hit that ultimate moment? But to see these guys enjoy it, and although half the time they're in a scramble because they got to get on a jet and they're off to the Open. But no, it's fun. And as you know, and you're all over the place out there, that is such a unique, special week. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And you mentioned Michelle Wee. The thing I remember about that year is Friday, as crazy as it was, and when they had our trailer, or the WQED trailer, they even made another. Remember, they made the second media tent. That media tent up there because of so much. And then here we come in on Saturday, and it was hard to even get a media shuttle because of the amount of media. And then she didn't make the cut. And I remember like walking in on Saturday, media wise, there's still tons of fans, but media wise, I'm like, well, it's back to Jay and me and Cuff, and like it was kind of nice. They kind of went away a little bit, which was fun as well.
And then on the flip side, was it 2003? Vijay Singh winning on that Monday at like noontime because of the rain problems we had. I think that Friday, a complete washout. How about a tip of the hat to our great sports departments? Between all of us in the QC, we had JDC in September, so we had golf on a Friday and then a football Friday on top of it. But that was the day. It was absolutely pouring. Joe Carter, who was my weekend guy at the time, I remember he didn't have a raincoat. He grabbed like a hefty bag and popped it through his head like Fred Flintstone or something, and he's walking around in a garbage bag all afternoon trying to stay dry. But then, Vijay Singh won, and because they finished up on that Monday, and it was like 12:30, and there's like maybe 50 people out there.
Oh, and the last one I'll bring up is 2015, and it wasn't just. I just remember being you mentioned 10 with Michelle Wee. I remember Jordan teeing off on 1, looking for the second in 3 years, and I mean he's on his way to maybe a grand slam, and the biggest name in golf. And from tee box, we got a GoPro of it, but from tee box to the green, I mean it's 6-7 deep all the way around. When it comes to the John Deere Classic, we could have a whole show on the John Deere Classic. I got it before I let you go. Go ahead. Yeah.
One other one on that real quick is that actually was JB Long's first week starting with me. He comes out here and I'm like, well, JB, we'll be out at Deer Run for the week. We got the PGA Tour in town. He's thinking, man, I'm coming to the Quad Cities and we're off and running with the PGA event. And so he started out with the PGA Tour, and then obviously Sunday night we have a champ, and then on Monday I've got him standing next to a bucket and a rake next to a third base dugout and shooting some baseball. So keep it moving, my man.
Yeah,
we've got 52 weeks.
We always,
but it was a fun way to get it going.
We always loved, and it was probably me way back in the day, but it's that person on Monday that heads to state for softball after an hour a week or 100-hour week and moving forward.
Yes.
All right, before I let you go, what's the biggest difference about the business between June 4th, 2001, and now here we are June 7th, 8th, whatever it is right now? What's the 25 years? What's the biggest change about the business?
I would say the social media, the digital presence, the website, the X, the Facebook, all of those things, getting extra videos of games, just a different world to try to cover things in a different element. Back then it's strictly TV. I mean, we're just strictly doing TV. There's no website that I'm, posting to. I mean, as you know, we finish up at 10:35, and sometimes depending on how much stuff we have, we're there till 11:30, posting and then kicking it out in various formats. So that's definitely probably the biggest change. But the one thing I always remember, one of the first guys I worked with in Massachusetts always said, even if, if something goes wrong, or if you're doing a sportscast and it goes sideways or something goes wrong, which it can happen at times, or goes, just roll with it. The guy, people that have been working hard all day, they just want to get their sports. They don't need sports guy to get in, aggravation because something, because I missed up a play or something. Just keep going. Just go with it. Have fun. Make it fun. Give them the information. Make it enjoyable.
Absolutely. Jay, what's similar? What's the biggest thing that's remained the same in 25 years? Is it the sport? Is it the athletes? Is it the young people? What is it that's stay the same? Besides your good looks, which has remained the same from the jump start to the finish.
Clearly, this box is not. I should be a little further back on this one. Anyhow, I'll tell you what. I am really impressed with how well spoken so many of these high school athletes are. I mean, if somebody threw a TV camera in my face when I was at Glastonbury High School in Connecticut in 1982, I'm not really sure what I would have been saying. So I'm just really impressed with that. But also just the incredible work ethic that these student athletes have and what they're up to. But, just make it fun and just enjoy every day. I mean, that's the best thing about our job is every day is a new day and you never know what you're going to get or what's going to happen. I mean, that's why, you go to a kid movie or something, odds are it's going to be a happy ending, which is fine. But sports, you never know what you're going to get. And that's what we love.
No, absolutely. Jay, 25 years of doing it. I mean, it goes without saying you're one of my favorite people. Super proud of you. I can't wait to watch you do another 25 years. If that's a good thing or a bad thing, who knows? But you've always been really good to me. And when I saw, you mentioned it. And a little while ago, and I'm like, wow, it is coming up. But to see it over the weekend and to see, I'm glad that you got some of the flowers you deserve. You didn't get all the flowers because you deserve more flowers than that. But proud of you. Keep doing what you do and keep doing great things for Quad City athletes. That's the important thing.
Matt Randazzo, I've got to finish here by saying how much you mean to me. You've been a true friend for years and years and years. And there was, without going too far in the weeds, a time when little health situation going on at a game. Everything turned out all right, but you were there to do whatever was needed to help me out and get me through that situation. And that I will never forget. You are a dear friend, a good man, and I applaud everything that you're doing, and I continued success to you.
I appreciate you. Nothing you wouldn't have done for me, and I'll do it every single day of the week. So happy for you. Proud of you, my friend. We'll catch up again real soon. The great Jay Kidwell. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right. That is Jay Kidwell, 25 years of doing sports at a super high level here in the Quad Cities. And people always say, like, I remember being younger. Oh, God, I love being younger. But who'd you like, not like? I mean, we like each other. Like, this is the beauty of it is we spend a ton of time together. So you become good friends with certain people. And it's easy to be friends with Jay Kidwell because what you see is what you get with Jay. He's as authentic of a human being as I've ever met. And he's a good friend. And we're really happy for him. We got more to get to. It's a Monday here on OTA. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm the Crawford guy.
Ooh, do you guys always speak at the same time?
Sorry, guys. I'll go first. You know, if you need help with your heating or air conditioning,
or electrical,
or plumbing, Crawford Company can solve your problem.
But what about your problem?
What problem?
Do you not hear yourselves? Take it from me, the Crawford lady.
And me, the Crawford guy.
Crawford is the comfort company.
This summer, light the fuse on something bigger than fireworks. It's red, white, and you at the John Deere Classic. July 1st through 5th with world-class golf and 4th of July energy you can feel. Wednesday is Youth Day and kids 15 and under get in free with a paid adult. After golf, concerts on the course rocks the weekend. Carrie Underwood, headlines, and All-American 4th of July celebration. And Old Dominion closes out Sunday. Stars, stripes, summer tradition. Get tickets now before they're gone at johndeereclassic.com.
For over 65 years, Lindquist Ford has proudly served the Quad Cities, and they're just getting started. Looking for a new ride? Check out a healthy mix of new and quality pre-owned vehicles ready for you. Need service? Skip the waiting room. With free pickup and delivery and mobile service, they come to you. No delays, no hassle. From routine maintenance to a full-service collision repair shop, it's fast, friendly, reliable, and always transparent. Lindquist Ford, serving the Quad Cities since 1959. Experience the difference today. Welcome back to Off the Air with Matt Randazzo here on a Monday in the Quad Cities. It's another big week of soccer in the state of Iowa. Last week, the boys took center stage for their state tournament. This week, the ladies will hit the pitch in Ames with their eyes on a state championship. And of course, the MAC is well represented as always with three teams at the state tournament, including in 3A, where Bettendorf, the MAC champions, will take the pitch for quarterfinal play coming up on Tuesday. But they join us right now here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Joining us from left to right is Addie Wolfel, Kelsey Smith, and Olivia Snow joining us right now on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. Ladies, thank you for doing this. I appreciate it. Welcome.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
I guess we'll start with you, Addie. Obviously heading to state. What does it mean for you ladies to head back to the state tournament once again?
I mean, it's awesome. It's obviously my third year because I'm a junior, but I think just like the culture we've built is just amazing. We've set the standard high and we're going to continue to do that going into state.
Kelsey, obviously you want to do well at state, but you got to get there first. That happened on Friday. What was that like? Obviously, you've been there, you've enjoyed it, you've celebrated it, but to get that 3-0 victory on Friday night, what were the emotions like heading back to state once again?
I think that we were all kind of nervous leading up to that game, so I think that win was a relief for us, but also even if we've been in that position before, every time is exciting for us. I mean, getting to go back to state and compete for a title is just exciting every time you do it. So it was super relieving and rewarding.
Absolutely. Olivia, you look at it and you want to get to state, but this team's been really good all season. 15 victories on the year, a MAC championship. And you knew the culture is great. The program is where you guys want it. When did you ladies realize that this was another state type of team heading through the season? Is it something you knew early on, or was there a point in the season where you guys realized that this is what you guys could accomplish?
I think something that makes us so good, and I feel like all teams strive to be, is you don't want to peak too early. You don't want to peak in the middle of the season. So I feel like something that we're really good at and what we practice in our practices and how we build ourselves up is peaking at the right time. So we started our first game against Iowa City West, actually.
Yeah.
We played them first, and just how we were as a team then compared to when we just played them on Thursday. It's just so crazy to see how we can climb up in our level and eventually just get us to state and keep winning games as we go in the state tournament.
Absolutely. Addie, you look at it and heading back to state, what is it about this team that makes it special? Obviously, there's a ton of talent on the team. It's well balanced. I think you can see that as well. What is it about this team that makes you guys continue to peak maybe at the right time and click right now?
I think it's just because we're a family. Like, we can be friends outside of soccer and inside, and we're able to take things seriously at practice, but also have that balance of fun. So I think just us, like the culture we've built these past 3 years, it's amazing. And obviously having a coach that pushes us a lot is amazing as well. So.
Kelsey, you guys win a MAC championship along the way. That's no little thing. And you guys smile because it's a great conference. It's been a great conference for, heck, I've been doing this for 25 years. It always is. One, what was it like and what does it mean to be MAC champions? But two, how does it prepare you ladies? Because you look at your schedule all over the place, but even the non-conference stuff and then you throw in the MAC, it gets you battle tested and prepared for a week like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So at the beginning of the season, we set goals, like I'm sure many teams do, and making it to state was one of them, but another one was being MAC champs. And this is the first year in a long time that we've flat out won MAC. I know last year we tied it, but flat out winning it is just a little bit better. But being able to play for the MAC championship just adds pressure to the game and helps us compete under pressure and stay calm under pressure, which is going to be huge for us going into the state tournament and learning how to play at such high stakes.
Olivia, you ladies have been there and you've done this. And last year, I think it was a quarterfinal loss, but an experience that you get, ladies. How much do you think about that? You don't want to dwell on last year, but you probably wanted a little motivation. Plus, you've been there. You know what to expect in these type of situations. How much do you recall last year at this point?
Well, not necessarily last year, but I can speak for all of us when we say that. We constantly think about what it felt like to win state and just knowing what that feels like, and then being able to win each game every closer and just knowing that we can be so close to feeling that again. And then last year we got super close too. So just we're still excited to be there, but we don't want to feel losing again, if that makes sense. So I think we're being fueled by the feeling of knowing what it feels like to win and knowing what it feels like to lose and knowing which one is better. So we're fighting to feel winning again.
That's very true. The Bettendorf Bulldogs, the girls soccer team, joining us right now on Off Day with Matt Randazzo. Addie, you look at it, you mentioned the experience this team has. Does that show even in practice as well? The fact that you guys know how to practice and prepare for what's to come. How nice is it? How big of an advantage is the experience that you ladies have as you get ready for this week?
I think it's pretty awesome, just because you've said we've been there, we know the feelings, obviously big stakes, but we also know this is another game just to go into and to win. And obviously at practices we prepare, but I think each of our practices are to prepare for the next level. So I think that's what we've done throughout the entire season, which is amazing.
Kelsey, tell me about this weekend. What's it like? Because you do have the celebration and the excitement and and those type of things, but you have to get back to work. I know there was a Sunday afternoon or evening practice. What's it been like? Is it all business? Is there some smiling and fun? What's it been like this weekend for you ladies?
It was really fun, honestly. I think our team, like what Addie said, one reason that we're so good is because our team chemistry is just always good. We're best friends on and off the field. And so we do a really good job of, yes, we work hard and we have like good practices, get the work done, but we have fun doing it. So it's always just fun. No matter if it's a hard practice or like a light recovery practice, we're always having fun together just because we're together. And I think we're super excited going into this week and we're super pumped. And I also think maybe a little nostalgic because we know that this is our last week together no matter what. So we're kind of in all the feels right now, but we're really focused and we're really excited.
You guys can have all the feels over the weekend. Be ready Tuesday.
Yeah.
Olivia, talk to me about Tuesday because it's Waukee. I think you're a 5 seed, which I think you can. I believe this with soccer. A lot of times you can take those seeds and kind of put them in a bag and shake them up because it's just really talented teams no matter what. So I don't get caught up with the 4s, 5s, 3s, 6, whatever. But what do you know about Waukee? And you're going to scout, you're going to prepare. But is it more about you ladies and what you guys do on the pitch, or take me through preparing for Tuesday against a good Waukee team?
I think that, yes, I think every team does a scouting report, but I feel like Allison and ourselves, we focus more on what we can do. Like every day, every game, like every huddle before, we're always like, play our game, high intensity, high pressure, because that's how we play. And that's how we're confident playing and how we succeed. So knowing that if we keep doing that and with the little things we know about them, because we haven't played them, that's how we know we can succeed playing our game. And also we know that Allison and Allison always say, like, postseason, everyone's 0-0 again. So we're 2-0 and so is Waukee. So
we're talking about yeah, no, go ahead.
We're 3-0 now.
There you go. And hopefully more to come soon. You look at it, Addie, and she's mentioned Allison. Allison, your head coach. What does she mean to this program and what you guys are able to accomplish right now?
I mean, she means a lot. I know, like, their freshman year, she changed the culture completely. And then when I stepped in my freshman year, she's always set the standard so high for us. So I think just, like, how she pushes us and how, like, confident she is in how we can play, it sets her above any other coach I've had personally. And I think that's just how amazing she is to our program. Like, she means so much to us.
Kelsey, you're shaking your head. Tell me about Coach. And you can get, like, there's probably no more running. Like, practices are kind of done. So, I mean, you can take her to task a little bit if you want to. What's that coach mean to you guys?
She's just, like Addie said, I think she changed our program. And just, we set a new standard right when she came in. My freshman year was also her first year. So, like, just learning, like, the learning curves of finding a new coach, new team, everything. Like, she did such a good job. And then the next year we end up going to state and winning state. So that's, like, kind of just a lot of props to her because I think a huge part of a winning team is the coach. And not only is she full of, like, knowledge on the field, but she also is a super good person and, like, just has such good connections with every single player on the team. And I think that she cares about each one of us, and that just makes all the difference.
All right, I'm going to start with the goofy questions, and I got to start with you, Olivia. And this one's not bad. Is there a class clown on the team? And I don't mean that in a bad way. Don't get anybody in trouble. But is there that person that's ready to make you laugh, maybe when you need to laugh, or a couple people? Like, those, just, you don't have to limit it to one. Is there a class clown or two on this team?
We definitely have a duo. Should I say their names?
Yes.
Emily Martin and Brielle Wilson. They are two peas in a pod. They're best friends, and even if we're in the toughest game or the hardest practice, we're running a lot. They always know how to make someone laugh and lighten the mood.
No, I love it. I love it. Addie, you look at this. So many kids are superstitious in sports. I don't know what it is on the pitch. If it's sometimes I feel like baseball is the most superstitious, but I know it's prevalent on the pitch as well. is this team superstitious? Are you superstitious when it comes to the game of soccer?
I would say we definitely are as a team. I know we each have our like own individual things. Like right now it's like the glitter in the hair, which we will be wearing on Tuesday.
Okay.
And like for me personally, it's like my routine throughout the day. Like I like doing the same things. I like eating the same foods, same hairstyle every game. So
Kelsey, what are your superstitions?
I don't know if I necessarily have any superstitions. Honestly, I like hanging out.
Are you sure? Hold on, because I'll have people come on there and be like, I'm not superstitious. And then they'll proceed to say that they eat the same foods and they wear the same hair. Those are superstitions. You just don't know it. So is there anything you do a lot? Any habits?
I guess one habit I have is that right before the game, it's always after warm-ups is when I put on my Icy Hot and my captain band. And it always makes me late to the captain talk. And, like, it just happens every time. It's kind of become my routine. So maybe that's my superstition.
It's not a routine. It's a superstition.
It's a superstition, yeah.
There you go. Olivia, any superstitions?
I would arguably say I'm the most superstitious on the team, but actually not arguably, I am.
Yeah. So what's the weirdest? We had a baseball player on last week that wears pink flamingo underwear every time he goes to take. So what's the weirdest thing you do?
I don't know if I have a weird thing, but but like when we played Assumption to win MAC, I played really good that game. So then I remembered everything I did. Like I worked that morning and I was late to work. So I had to make sure that I worked when we played Iowa City West and I was late to work. And I wear the same hairstyle every game and just all sorts of things.
It works because y'all are going to state. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Addie, what's the team? Is there a pregame ritual? Is there like music you listen to, or what will the bus ride be like coming up on Monday when you head up later on today?
It's definitely filled with music. Lots of singing, lots of Bruno Mars, lots of That Girl's on Fire, all of that. That's definitely our pregame ritual. So.
Can you three sing That Girl's on Fire right now? A little bit? Just a little bit? No? No?
3.
It might jinx us.
Okay.
Because we have to win state.
Well done. Well, that's very good, Olivia. That's a good way to get out of it. Kelsey, how about this? If you win state, you guys have to come on and sing That Girl's on Fire or whatever it is.
We will.
Okay.
We will.
Kelsey, what's is favorite foods for this team? Like, are there places that you guys have to go eat, whether it's after a big win or just when you're getting together for a team meal? What's the team food like?
A lot of us go to Chick-fil-A after the game, but I would say a team food is candy. Like
before the games.
Yeah, candies before the games, specifically Nerds gummy clusters. Yeah, it's a quick carbohydrate.
No, it's not. That's not true.
That's what we call it.
How close to before the game? Like, are you guys pounding Nerd gummies before you clusters before you go on the pitch?
Yeah, it's usually when we're like having our team talk and like putting on our cleats and stuff. We'll like just like a little handful. We'll pass them around. Like,
okay.
Our coach just bought I think it's a 32-ounce bag, 2 of them, and they're like this big, like 2 of them of Nerds gummy clusters for us for the bus.
That'll handle 1 game. You got 3 coming up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. Hey,
I had to buy 4 and she only bought 2.
The Chick-fil-A, you glazed over that real fast. That's my I just love Chick-fil-A. I can't get enough of it. The Bettendorf girls joining us right now and Off There with Matt Randazzo. Olivia, if you could have dinner with anybody in the entire world, dead, live, whatever you want to do, who would it be and why?
I think that in 20 years, I would want to have dinner with this team again.
That's so sweet. That's well done.
Wow, that's a good answer.
That's good.
Okay.
Because we'll have our separate lives.
Well, you're going to still
then we'll
see
be,
each
like,
other.
reconnected.
It's not like you're all going to disappear and never see each other for 20 years and come back together.
Well, we might like move away.
All right. Addie, do you have a dinner appointment with anybody? Who would it be?
It would probably be Rihanna. She's like my favorite singer, so
Right.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Kelsey, last one. Your dinner date would be?
Oh, that's such a good question. I don't know. I feel like I don't really have like an idol like that, and like.
What could
But
be
I'd probably
like?
have to go with.
It could
What?
be. It could be. She like help me out. What? It could be like a relative. It could be a friend. It could be. I don't know. It could be a.
She'd like to have dinner with me.
Olivia's just looking for a free meal. She's just like Chick-fil-A. Anybody?
Chick-fil-A,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you three have been awesome. I appreciate it. Best of luck. Here's the deal. You guys are gonna win on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday, Thursday, Friday? Would that be what it is?
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay, so Tuesday, Thursday, win both those two. Come back on Friday. We'll have you on Friday. Then win a state championship, and y'all are singing next Monday. 1 week from today, you're singing on the
Okay.
show. Deal?
Yeah.
Hey, I appreciate it. Tell Coach I said thank you. Best of luck the rest of the way. Do big things, and we'll catch up with you guys real soon. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you so much.
All right, that is the Bettendorf Nerd Clusters. That's not a carbohydrate. Did you see how they just put that in there like I was gonna buy it? Oh, it's healthy. It's they're fruit. It's like fruit. It's nutritious. No, if it was nutritious, I wouldn't be fat, ladies. Okay, I know my candy. Trust me. So, best of luck to Bettendorf. We got more to get to. You're watching Off the Air on a Monday right here in the Quad Cities. We'll be right back. All right, be honest. Are you craving Hungry Hobo again? You know, that fresh sliced meat piled high on those amazing sandwiches, hot off the grill chicken and steak with all those delicious toppings, the biggest and best selection of baked potatoes, or simply some waffle fries dipped in cheese. Well, now that Quad City favorite is even easier to get. Download the Hungry Hobo app today. Order ahead, skip the line, and earn rewards all at the same time. There's Double Points Monday and exclusive specials as well. With 12 locations in the Quad City area, it's Hungry Hobo. Now even easier to find, but still hard to resist.
Rafferty Funeral Home, dedicated to serving families in the Quad Cities since 2007.
Hi, welcome. Here, come on in.
An experienced staff plans each service to reflect the unique life and legacy of your loved one. Rafferty Funeral Home is proud to serve our community with dignity, respect, and compassion, helping you to celebrate your traditions and lasting memories no matter your faith, culture, or budget. Rafferty Funeral Home in Moline. Call today to discuss prearrangements.
When it comes to quality, convenient pizza, Godfather's Pizza in Silvis has you covered. Featuring a beautiful dine-in area, delivery, and a carry-out window. Godfather's Pizza is that pizza you grew up with, not a convenience store. You see, at Godfather's Pizza, the dough is made fresh daily. That mozzarella cheese is shredded fresh and never frozen. And those toppings are abundantly piled high each and every time. Locally owned and operated since 2010, Godfather's is a huge supporter of local athletes right here in the Quad Cities. So come on by and check them out at 1211 Avenue of the Cities in Silvis. Order online at godfathers.com and reunite with that same delicious pizza you grew up with. Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a rainy Monday in the Quad Cities. A lot of rain so far this weekend, yesterday into today, pouring outside, so no reason to be anywhere but with us talking sports on a Monday here in the Quad Cities. And a lot to talk about, a lot over the weekend. I didn't get a chance to, not doing a show on Friday, to talk about the developments with the Chicago Bears. And I'm going to call them the Chicago Bears, but Bears fans know I can be a jerk, so I will refrain from the Hammond, Indiana Bears talk just yet, but a lot going on with the Bears OTA. So we're going to bring in our good friend Lorin Cox from Locked On Bears joining us right now and Off There with Matt Randazzo. First and foremost, happy Monday. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it.
Of course. Happy to join you.
It's been a busy off season in Chicago like it always is. I guess we'll start with, I think it was what happened on Thursday or Friday, whichever day it was, late last week. Indiana looks to be, I guess, in the driver's seat. Over the weekend, there was Indiana politicians saying it's a done deal. Where are you at right now? Where are we at, I guess, when it comes to where the Bears Stadium is?
Yeah, I think driver's seat is a good analogy to use there. Like it's not a done deal. Like they haven't put shovels in the dirt. They haven't even really finalized a site in Indiana yet. There's some locations they're very clearly looking at and focused on, but like very different than, say, Arlington Heights, where they put hundreds of millions of dollars into purchasing a site and then have spent millions of dollars on property taxes while they try and figure out exactly where the stadium's going to go. So my approach to this whole thing has been to let the money do more of the talking than the politicians. And so until the Bears start talking with their wallets in Indiana a little bit more, that's when I'll really feel like it's in full speed that direction. But for now, it still feels like they're giving the state of Illinois every opportunity to please come change our mind. We want you to change our mind. But for now, we have to keep moving towards Indiana. So they are in the driver's seat.
If you're a fan that wants to see the Bears stay in Illinois, forget Chicago, just in Illinois, who's at fault right now? Like, who's to blame that this thing is to the point where it's at? It's a tough question. I'm sorry, but who's at fault?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of blame to go around. So it's hard to find a party that's like innocent here, right? Because I think the Bears certainly have not handled this the way that you had hoped or that we had wanted to, right? I mean, they had talked about having shovels in the ground in 2024, and now we're not even close to even knowing where shovels would go into the ground. But then obviously, the legislature hasn't been able to get any kind of cohesion on any kind of deal, and there's been infighting between the governor's office and the mayor of Chicago, and then lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, and then Indiana kind of comes in, and there's some bad guys in this, or they're one of the villains in this, I should say, because I mean they were so quick and decisive and offered the Bears one of the most favorable stadium deals we've seen a state legislature get out. So like I think Indiana's the only group that like has had their stuff together, but they're kind of the bad guys for everyone in Illinois and wants to see Chicago and stay with as the home of the Bears there. So how you sort of split the pie there is tough because we're missing some information on the outside. I've heard lawmakers say that the Bears are being hard to work with. I've seen the Bears say the lawmakers hard to work with. So I can't sit here as an outsider and say for sure, oh, Kevin Warren is the problem, or oh, the lawmakers are the problem. In reality, it's probably been a lot of both causing each other a lot of issues.
I use the analogy all the time. If my kids are fighting and I'm not there, I hear two stories and they're probably both wrong. And that's probably what it is here with this situation where there's two sides of the story and there's probably actually what's really going on. And they're probably both in trouble and should go to their rooms like my kids usually have to do. Lorin Cox from Locked On Bears joining us on Off There with Matt Randazzo. Where are you at? There's different Bears fans out there. I talked to a lot of them that are like, this is awful. This is horrible. I had a friend on social media saying, I couldn't believe he posted the logo of my beloved Lions saying, hey, I'm on board now. Like I can't go to the Packers. There's people that are really frustrated and mad about this. And the other Bear fans that just like laugh at me like, I don't care. And they're right. You look at the Jets and Giants, they're in New Jersey. The Niners live in Santa Clara. The Lions used to be in Pontiac, which is not just outside of Detroit for anybody who thinks it is. It's 45 minutes north. Where are you at when it comes to what you would like to see if you were in control, which I still think you should be, Lorin? Where would you like this thing to go?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be a little bit, I'm not the most like sappy, sentimental person. So like, I tend to think like realistically, functionally, not that big of a deal if they actually were to cross state lines into Indiana. Like I'm more concerned about like the actual location, like that it's a kind of an industrial site there. And I'd be worried that it's kind of a dump around there, but like the logistics of, oh, it's in Indiana, not Illinois, to me personally aren't going to be that bothersome. But like, I didn't grow up in downtown Chicago. You know what I mean? Like I didn't grow up like with Soldier Field as my backyard or anything. So they're always going to be a couple hour drive either way. So I don't, whether it's a little bit farther to Indiana or not, I don't have some of that same like personal, like geographical attachment in that same way. But I totally understand, people that have memories and people whose parents and grandparents went to the Super Bowl in '85 and win as a kid, and they've brought their kids or whatever. Like I can totally understand and respect why that's so meaningful. But I think functionally, would literally be right across the state lines. Visitors would still fly into Chicago. They would still stay at Chicago hotels. They would still dine at Chicago restaurants. Like, if anything, it's a little bit closer and more Chicago-based there than even in Arlington Heights. That's farther out in the suburbs, and you kind of stay away from downtown. So it's the kind of thing that I think everyone, of course, will be mad about right away and for a couple of years. But then, 5 to 10 years after the new stadium is built and that they're in it, I think everyone will kind of forget, like you mentioned, with the 49ers or the Giants or the Jets or the Cowboys or even the Commanders are in Maryland and not Washington, D.C.
Yeah. And I agree with that. I will be the jerk that will call them the Hammond Bears for my existence because that's me. And I'm a Lions fan and I'm a jerk. And that's what other Packers fans will do it. And then it'll go away. It's just what it is. There's actual football being done, Lorin. They're actually doing some OTAs. And what stood out to you? OTAs, this stadium thing just has legs of its own, and it's been a big thing. But they're actually I won't say in pads because they're really not. But what have you taken from OTAs? What's the headlines?
Yeah, it's the time of year where everyone overreacts to every little thing, right? If Caleb throws an incomplete pass, he's terrible and never going to be a good quarterback. And if every touchdown he throws is all their offense is going to explode. And to me, I think the things that actually have a little bit more legs and meaning right now are more from the injury and health side, where cornerback Kyler Gordon played only 2 regular season games last year as he was dealing with a wide variety of soft tissue injuries. And the idea was like, all right, get healthy, the hamstring and all the little nicks and bruises recover, and you're good to go for this offseason, right? And it shows up in OTAs and more soft tissue injuries, not participating. It's like this cycle seems to never end, and this is a player that they view as a really versatile chess piece for Dennis Allen on the back end. They had visions of using him in the slot and outside and maybe having him play some safety sometimes just in disguising coverage. It's not full-time, but just being able to use him as a real like jack of all trades back there that we were excited about. And he just can't stay on the field. And Ben Johnson's been very vocally frustrated with that. Like, not that Kyler's doing it on purpose, but it's just like, man, we need you out there, and availability is one of the best abilities. And then you combine that with Rome Odunze, who also missed a bunch of time last season with a stress fracture in his foot. He's practicing and everything, but he says, hey, my foot's never going to be the same. Like, it's a different bone structure now, and I'm not really in pain, but it's just, this is my new normal. And all of a sudden you're concerned about a young player with a different structure of his foot. Is this going to be a long-term thing? So all of a sudden, like, 2 cornerstone young successful draft picks on your team have some of these injury question marks. Like, that's the stuff that has a lot longer ramifications than just how did he look at practice today.
No, absolutely. And it's one of those things that I think it was Dan Campbell that said, it's their pajamas out there playing football. So it's you can't get a lot, especially up front, defensive line questions, those issues that go into the season, but it is about health. You mentioned Caleb Williams. Madden cover, 2 different ones. We talked about it on Thursday on the show, and I get it. And I have a son of mine that said, but Daddy wasn't great. And I said, but he's very popular. And I think it's not because of performance, it's because of popularity. And that's not saying performance was bad, because the highlight moments of last season probably come from that guy against the Packers and everything else. So I get the big plays. Is it more about popularity and flash when it comes to a Madden cover than it is like crowning the best quarterback in all of football?
Yeah, I mean, in some ways, they would just put Patrick Mahomes on the cover every year if they did that. And I think he's had 2, right? I think there were a couple of years in between, but like, so they gotta pass the buck around there a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this was one of the most exciting teams in the NFL this year. Exciting, not necessarily the best, but one of the most exciting teams in the NFL last year, with the quarterback being the biggest source of that excitement late in games, being the one to make some of those miraculous throws at the end. Or, there were a couple games that ended with interceptions, but still, like, the excitement level is there. Like, this is a fun, I don't even want to say, I mean, polarizing, probably more so in the NFC North, but just a tentpole type of player, lightning pole type of player that, like, everyone knows about, right? His brand exists bigger than just, Chicago Bears quarterback. I mean, he does fashion, he does GQ magazine. He's got a whole like investment, venture capital fund where he funds a bunch of like tech businesses and stuff, and is out and about, a very public facing persona and was before he was a Chicago Bears quarterback. So yeah, to me, it's about just the aura and the stardom of Caleb Williams combined with the expectations that like, hey, he showed some improvement in his first year with Ben Johnson and that they're expecting another step forward that maybe will feel a little bit more like the kind of, level of play that we associate with a Madden cover per se. Although I will say to his credit, he finished 7th in the NFL in passing yards last year, right? It's not like the completion percentage was at the very bottom, but like, it wasn't like this was as you say, not a bad quarterback, just not quite, he wasn't, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, those types of quarterbacks that we think about in Madden covers, but it also wasn't, the Alex Smiths and Andy Daltons of the world either, a nice step up there.
No, and I get painted as the Caleb hater, and I'm not. I don't like him because I didn't like Brett Favre. That doesn't mean I think I was bad. He was bad. I didn't like Aaron Rodgers. I don't like guys that are going to be. So the more I hate him, probably the better he is in all actuality. So I don't hate. I do think he needs to take some steps that you just mentioned. You mentioned polarizing. And in the division, I don't think he's that polarizing nationally. I don't think there was any bad. But in the division, obviously, there's going to be. Where are you at with where he's? I don't want to say ranked, but I guess ranked in quarterback stardom in the NFL, or not just stardom, but like actual performance. You got Colin Cowherd, I think, on his show saying he's a top 3, top 5 quarterback, whatever it may be. I know he can be. The ceiling's the limit, but where do you have him right now going into year 3 after winning a division championship last year? Where is he? Top 5, top 10, top 15? Where do you have him? Where's Lorin Cox have him?
Yeah, I mean, definitely not top 5. I'm not there. And even the Bears have kind of said that as much, right? Ryan Poles used this analogy of like, it was very rudimentary, but like red light, yellow light, green light. Rookie year was kind of like red light. We need to see a lot more. Second year was kind of yellow light. Like, hey, we're on the right path. But before they give him the big contract extension, they need to see him go like to the green light level. And that's kind of where I'm at then with like the tiers of quarterbacks, right? Like he's not in the Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson type of tier there, but and then how you split him up from there, he's probably that next step or 2 down. Like, I don't think he's, like, is he quite to Justin Herbert in that next tier? If Matthew Stafford is right there, like he's probably a little bit below that, but like, I don't think he's noticeably far behind, like Drake May and Bo Nix in his own draft class. Like, yes, those guys had more productive seasons, but I think in terms of like the talent they have at the quarterback position, I think we should expect to see them all perform very similarly again this upcoming season. So I think Jordan Love is kind of in this same category. Dak Prescott's in the same category. Like guys that are really good, but they're not, these are not like the elite of the elite quarterbacks. And I don't know that I can put those kind of expectations on Caleb, but I think he's right there in that conversation among like, not the top of the list below the elite guys, but like at the bottom of that next tier. So if put like that's like top 12, top 15, top 12 in that kind of range, like somewhere between 8 and 15, maybe. I don't know.
I think the ones inside the division is great. And it's a great conversation because Jared Goff's numbers are what they are. And they're, I think, 34 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. But, he doesn't have that flash, that mobility, those kind of things. I can't figure out Jordan Love. Like, as many times I see him and he's really good, there's so many times I watch him, I'm like, this is the guy. And then same thing with Caleb. You can watch those great plays and you're like, I will say this, going into the season as a non-Bears fan or a Lions fan, I think I'd rather be tied with the Bears going in. I don't know. I just don't want to be down 7 going to the fourth quarter. I need to be up like 21. And you might be. The second game of the year, they were up like 30, 21, 24 points, whatever it was. So before I let you go, you mentioned contract extension is coming. And you mentioned like green light, he gets, in my opinion, and I think you probably admit too that like he's going to get an extension. Like they're not going to let Caleb Williams, those passes that he made against the Packers, signed his next contract for him. Is that next offseason? Is that when they look to do that? And what does that look financially? Not to get into too much of it, but the Bears don't have a ton of money right now. How much will what will next season look like when it comes to money and Caleb and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so it would be next offseason that they can start having those negotiations. And I think that's sort of the ideal timeline, right? And you're right. The question is, it's not a question of like, will they let Caleb go versus give him an extension, right? But it's a question of
how much,
how eager are you to give him that extension? Or, if say, this season, for whatever reason, there's some rockiness and some up and downs, maybe they say, hey, let's wait one more year before we, just so we can really fully see, because this will be year 3. Then you'll have year 4 after that, and then the 5th year option after that. You can still extend them early, but like they do have time if they want to see more before they commit to the extension. But the plan would be, right, the best case is that he plays so well this season that you're 100% sure you're going to give him the extension. So pay him earlier rather than let him have multiple good seasons and just drive that price tag up more and more. But I think, honestly, the way it happens every offseason, right? The next quarterback that gets the new deal kind of pushes the numbers up. And so everyone's kind of hovered around this like $55 million a year number. That's what Burrow's getting. Josh Allen, Jordan Love got $55 million a year, and Trevor Lawrence got $55 a year. I think Stafford's at $55 as well. So like that to me is, I think, where Caleb would then go, knowing that like, future quarterbacks are going to go even higher than that. Like, of course, you're not saying that today Caleb Williams should be worth exactly the same as Josh Allen as he is on his contract, but like, Patrick Mahomes is making a lot less than that. It's just the nature of how deals kind of cycle and build up from there. So yeah, I think you're probably looking at another one of those, like whatever it is, 5-year, $330 million contract, or a 4-year, $220 million contract. However you get the average out to like 55 plus a year. It's just interesting because the Bears need to have cash on hand to hand out that contract. They also need cash on hand to build a stadium. And so like how they sort of manage the finances of just like, not, it's not salary cap related. It's just like the owners have to have money in the bank to pay this out. And the McCaskies famously are not the wealthiest ownership group in the NFL. So they're looking at a stock sale right now and selling a portion of the Bears to generate some revenue. I think they're preparing for a lot of money to be flowing out of those checking accounts here in the next 12 months.
That is a ton of money. You look at it, I think Drake London signed in a contract extension recently, last week, and it's basically the same amount of money that Amon-Ra St. Brown makes. And I remember when Amon-Ra got the money, and my kids were like, that's a ton of money. He was the highest paid. You mentioned it. If you're going to get this contract, Caleb will be maybe the highest paid quarterback for like a month or two. And then by the next year or two, he's back down to like top 10. So, I mean, it's crazy how quickly eventually there's got to be a stop eventually, right? Like money can't just grow on trees all the time, right?
As long as the TV deals, every collective bargaining agreement keep going up and up. And now Amazon comes in and has money, and Apple TV has money. But to your point, Dak Prescott is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now on a per year average basis of $60 million a year. And you're not going to find anybody outside of Arlington that thinks Dak Prescott's the best quarterback, but that's just the cycle of when you got paid compared to when the other guys last got paid.
Lorin, we should have been quarterbacks, if you think about it. We're wasting our time with microphones, right?
Quarterback would have been the plan. Get that Chase Daniel money and then go into media afterwards. That's the ideal career.
There you go. Lorin, I always appreciate your time. Locked on Bears, rocking and rolling. And football season will be here before you know it. Thanks, buddy. We'll catch up again soon.
Of course. Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. That is Lorin Cox, as I mentioned, Locked on Bears. I listen to Locked on Lions a lot. I like to listen to Locked on Bears a ton as well. Really good stuff. Lorin does a great job, so make sure you give him a listen, especially if you listen to this on YouTube. Check out Locked on Bears on YouTube. And same thing with the podcast forms, Spotify, Apple, all those places. Give him a listen as well. Really good stuff. And we mentioned it earlier in the show. I mean, I think I saw 14 more Sundays without football, and then it's back. So the OTAs are always interesting. He's 100% right, though. And it's fine. It's fans being fans, and it's both ways. But just temper expectations in June when it comes to hearing about a guy. I saw something the other day about Jamison Williams, and he's going to have even a better year than last year because he caught like a 4-yard slant from Jared Goff, and he ran really fast to the end zone and in shorts and a t-shirt. And it's like, and I think he's going to be good, but or continue to get good. But it's June. So, but yeah, football right around the corner. Give him a listen. We appreciate Lorin Cox for coming on the show a lot. It's a good thing to have here in the Quad Cities. And he's right when it comes to the stadium. There's Bears fans that absolutely hate it. And there's Bears fans that tell me they don't care. And then they get mad when I bring it up again, but they tell me they don't care. And I think that's there's two sides of it. It'll be weird. If they go to Indiana, I probably will refer to them as the Indiana Bears for all existence. So, but that's the kind of jerk I am. We got more to get to. We'll wrap up a Monday edition of OTA right after this.
Hello, Dan Pearson here of FCA. Our team is thrilled to support Off the Air with our good friend Matt Randazzo. We share the view of the power of sport when it comes to relationships, including the influence of the coach. FCA believes the coach is the most influential person in America. Matt celebrates local coaches and athletes. His content is informational, insightful, and inspirational. Our Fellowship of Christian Athlete team loves partnering with Off the Air with Matt Randazzo while we engage, equip, and empower coaches and athletes in our 23 counties. FCA, the heart and soul in sports.
View from the West, the podcast covering Illinois high school football.
It's going to be a hard-hitting game. It's going to be great football.
Weekly analysis and reaction from around the western side of the state of Illinois.
This is the game we had circled when the year started.
Follow along on YouTube and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
It's big-time football out there tonight, and I know we can play big-time football.
View from the West. We got you covered.
Are you looking for the Quad City's best chips and salsa? There's only one dude to turn to.
Right on.
Snoop. Hand-cut chips, fried fresh with that crunch you've come to love. And the most addicting salsa with delicious fresh ingredients each and every time. Pick up your chips and salsa, queso, enchiladas, and much more at the Stern Center in Rock Island. To place your order, simply call the man himself. It's Snoop at 309-314-8197 and find out for yourself what the rest of the Quad Cities already loves.
This summer, light the fuse on something bigger than fireworks. It's red, white, and you at the John Deere Classic. July 1st through 5th with world-class golf and 4th of July energy you can feel. Wednesday is Youth Day and kids 15 and under get in free with a paid adult. After golf, concerts on the course rocks the weekend. Carrie Underwood, headlines, and All-American 4th of July celebration. And Old Dominion closes out Sunday. Stars, stripes, summer tradition. Get tickets now before they're gone at johndeereclassic.com.
Welcome back to Off Day with Matt Randazzo here on a Monday in the Quad Cities. Monday, June 8th. It's been a fun show, to say the least. If you've missed any of it, make sure you scroll back, start at the beginning. We talked 25 years of covering sports in the Quad Cities with our good friend Jay Kidwell from WHBF. Jay's been here since June 4th. 2001, and he has done a great job covering sports, been a good friend, and everybody who knows Jay likes Jay. And so it was a bunch of fun to talk his memories and favorite players and all those kind of things with Jay Kidwell. So go back and check that out. What is that my hair, or is that... No, that's actually a little frizzy. I was looking, I was like, well, I don't got much hair. My headphones are all getting old. Anyways, so go check out the Jay Kidwell interview. If you get a second, scroll back, check that out. Also, great to talk with a trio of young ladies from the Bettendorf girls soccer team. Kelsey Smith, Olivia Snow, and Addie Wolfel all joined us here on Off Day with Matt Randazzo. They head to state this afternoon. They play tomorrow at 3:15. We wish them the best of luck against Waukee. Stuff going on right now. State soccer getting started as we speak. Assumption plays at 12:15. North Scott, I believe, is 3:15. So we wish those MAC teams the best of luck. Best of luck to all the teams around the state. If you're watching us in Central Iowa or Cedar Rapids, anywhere around the state, best of luck to all of your soccer teams. We'll be chatting soccer throughout the week right here on Off There with Matt Randazzo. And then also thank you to Lorin Cox from Locked On Bears, talking about the Bears' move to Indiana, to Hammond, Indiana, some Caleb Williams, what he got out of OTAs. I think his big thing was health, which I agree with. And you kind of find out where people are when it comes to coming back from injuries and where they are big picture-wise when it comes to health. So great stuff from Lorin Cox, as always, right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. A couple things before we let you go. The Guy Randazzo Memorial Golf Outing comes your way in less than 2 weeks. It's on June 20th, Highland Springs Golf Course. We have a team available. We had one team back out and drop out, so we do have a new opening. If you're interested in taking part in the Guy Randazzo Memorial Golf Outing, head to GuyRandazzoGolf.com. You can sign up a team. There's one team left. We would love to get it back signed up again and filled up. I know we will, but hurry. There's a bunch of Iowa love there this year. We'll have a foursome of Iowa basketball players, including Tate Sage and Cooper Koch. Journey Houston will be giving out chips and salsa on our basketball hole. And we have a basketball hoop on hole 7 on the tee box. You can shoot some hoops with Journey. She'll be hanging out there throughout the outing. Possibly a teammate or two along the way. Hopefully some football players as well. Pat Anger, Tom Kakert, Joe Conklin will be there. You name it. A lot of local coaches as well. Excited about that once again. Tom Barber from Iowa, or from Alleman football. Anthony Rome from Rock Island football. Alex Kelly from Riverdale basketball, I think, is going to be up and out there. Thomas Smith from Alleman baseball. Charles Jugasaw will be in the house once again for the Guy Randazzo Memorial Golf Outing. So a lot of people, Snoop's food, Snoop's fun, all that kind of stuff. So get signed up, GuyRandazzoGolf.com. We'd love to see you out there with us. And I'm watching the weather today, and it sounds like after this week, like we go through a stretch through Father's Day where it's cool weather. Like I saw a meteorologist, I'm going to assume it was James or Andrew, I don't know who it was, that said that Father's Day weekend might be in the 70s and 80s. That's different for us. Usually it's 90s and hot. So, man, hopefully they're right when it comes to those kind of things. So we'd love to have you out there. So if you can join us, that'd be great. Like I mentioned, it'll be a busy week on the show this week. Next week, we'll be done early probably because of getting ready for the outing, but we'll have a bunch of great stuff throughout the week right here on Off the Air with Matt Randazzo. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank our fantastic sponsors for allowing us to do this show each and every day. And we will see you guys again for another edition of OTA coming up tomorrow.